Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and this is a game played in Uzbek Chess Cup, and this game was played by, with the white pieces we have Nordirbek Abdusattorov, one of the elitist player in the world, and on the black hand side we have here Prague, and this game is just going to be great because it's a battle of youths, and definitely we're going to see it in the game as well. So without further ado, let's start with this game. First we have e4, now we have c5, just going for Sicilian defense, e6, knight to f3, sorry, and just e6, and we have d4, just immediately striking in the center French variation, and we have the c captures. Knight captures and just knight to c6, but just knight to c3, knight to f6, bishop to f4, and now we have just d6. Now you can see that the idea still exists because you can capture if you're not careful. If white plays a silly move like a4 or something, or he develops the bishop head, you can capture, and once you capture, then you're going to lose a piece. So you don't have to do that. So you have to be extremely careful here. But here, obviously, these are grandmasters. They're not going to make this mistake. So here, just bishop to f4, f5 was played, and we have this bishop to d7, just blocking. Now we see a trade. Knight captures, b captures, and just bishop back to a4, e5. But now just finally going for this bishop to g5. Now all of these are settled, and both players are soon going to castle. Here h6, pushing the bishop back. Bishop caps on f6, queen captures, and here queen to d3. And now maybe Nordirbek is saying that he might be interested in castling queen side, long castling, and maybe starting an attack on the king side. But with all these pawns here, I mean, it's a bit of premature because now, unlike would have been the case if you had played a move like h4, now you're gonna have to push those moves, and you're just a few tempos short. Here, just a5, and now Prague is saying, I'm gonna attack you on the queen side, and here queen side castle, and now just push it back to e7. Here just Prague is just simply waiting for castle. Rook h to e1, now trying to push those moves, maybe with a move like g3 and pushing those pawns, but it's just a bit slow. Here castles, and now just g3. Now going as planned, rook a b8, but now just f4. Here, rook captures on rook to b4, a great move by Prague because now you want to double up and maybe start an attack here. But it's going to be very much difficult because here white is just going to play b3. But even with b3, you can still push a move like that, force a trade in the future, and it's going to be all great. But here, after queen back to a6, queen to a6 was played, not letting you, not he's saying that I'm not going to let you attack me, because here he's just threatening it. But Prague says bring it down, e captures. And now what do you do? Because here the best move for Nordirbek would have been, it's a very difficult move to spot because it's over there on your king side, and you have to always be patient about your king side. Here the best move is just a3, push the rook back, and after that just stabilize your king, stabilize your pieces, win some material, and you'll have a great game. Most likely a draw, but still a great game, better than a loss. But here rook back to b8 was played, and here just bishop captures on c6. But now comes the move d5, and now you cannot capture because of this pin. So here knight captures was played. Knight captures would have been played, which is exactly, I think, the move that Nordirbek missed in this position, because you can allow that. I mean, as crazy as that looks, but that you can allow that, and only after, maybe, if black play goes for that, you have this king to d2, and then queen to e5, bishop captures, and only after here rook f to d8. Just this looks a lot scary, and definitely you don't want to face this in a rapid game, let alone a blitz game. But here just g captures, and here after queen caps on e4, just everything is threatened in this position. But you have an amazing resource, which is this queen to c6. And now if black plays a silly move, any silly moves in this position, you have this very nice check, which will be winning you a free queen. But obviously black is not going to be that much careless. So here just rook caps on d7, but queen captures, and now here rook to d8. Beautiful, beautiful move, because you cannot capture. If you're thinking that this comes with a check and you are just winning a piece, this does not work. Here queen captures, and you cannot trade because here this is the pin. And so in this position, you're most likely going to play this queen to h3, but hey, and just lose the knight, but you're going to have a great game. Here after this rook captures, king to c1, and here after rook to c5, just queen to d3 and queen to c6. You get this position where you know you're just pushing a lot on this pawn. Queen is guarding it currently, and you also have to be careful about this rook jumps, because this captures would be really, really annoying. So here, but all in all, both, it's a draw because of these pawns are all isolated, and they're going to be captured soon. And on the other hand, black has a very nice pawn structure. So all of this is going to be draw, because even though you have a rook pair against the bishop, so you are in exchange round, but still, it white's the one who's going to be pushing here for an attack, and it's Prague's hand. It's most likely going to be winning, but Nodirbek could be able to draw it. But here after e captures, here just g captures was played, and now it's a bit troublesome because here Prague is the one who's pushing for something here. So rook f to b8, now just going as planned, but now just e5, just not allowing the queen to stay on that diagonal, but just it doesn't work here. Queen to f5, and now you see the problem, because here after e captures, now just bishop gets there on that diagonal. You should not have captured that, The bishop to e3 was played, but just queen to c5. And now you see that all those pieces are starting to pile up, and here after pawn captures, I mean, you could be a lot of trouble here. Here just rook f to e1 was played, and it just completely blunders the game. The best move in this position is, well, rook d to e1. And rook d to e1 just not that difficult from rook f to e1. So what is the difference? The difference is pretty simple. Here bishop captures, and here after b captures, queen captures, your king has a lot of room here just to move around and not get mated. Here queen to d3, but here just queen to a1 check, king to d2, and just queen to f6. And here you're in a lot of trouble because here the rooks are connected. Bishop is on a bad square, but these rooks are not doing anything much, and you have a very bad diagonal that you don't want to stay in. Here rook to e5, but now just rook caps on f4, and now black is the one pushing for anything in this position, and you're going to have to defend all the game, and your king is on d2. So I mean, it's just going to be very much difficult playing this game. But here again, it was the best chance for Nordirbek to do anything in this position, but here just rook f to e1, and now it just completely falls apart. And the move is, I already showed you the move, so there is no point in me analyzing that move again. But here just bishop captures, and a move like b captures, but now just queen captures. Here queen to d3 was played, but again queen to a1 check, king to d2, but now just queen to f6. The same move order, but just this rook being here and not that active as it would have been on the even square. So here just c3, attacking the rook, but now just bishop to f5. And now here Nordirbek didn't see anything. The best move here was just queen to g3. And here after move like queen captures on d5, you play king to c1. And this all looks very scary here. I mean, with this diagonal, these rooks being here, but it's it's just a little bit better. And maybe sometimes all you need is a little bit of hope in this position that maybe you can defend it, because with all those moves it's just not going to happen. Here queen caps on f4, but here after you trade, you get this position where you trade a pair of rooks, you have equal amount of material piecewise, but when you look at the pawns here, just you are 2 pawns short and in a completely losing endgame. So here not going to give it too easy. So here queen captures on f5 was played by Nodirbek, but it just completely blunders the game and doesn't work anymore, because here rook to d4 check, c captures, because you're going to lose that, I mean, piece either way. So why not give it, just ruining white's pawn structure. So here queen caps on f5, and here just king to c3, queen to d7, rook to e5, and queen caps on d6, rook d e1, but just king to f8. I mean, position wise it's a bad position. If material wise you're looking at it, it's not that bad position, because here you're just down the exchange. I mean, but still the position is just completely losing. Here king to d3, rook to d8, and just here rook 1 to e4, but here just queen to b4. And the position is just slowly gonna fall apart here. I'm not gonna go into all those moves because the position is completely lost for white. Here king to c3, queen to c1 check, king to d3, and here just gaining a little bit time on their clocks with all these checks. And here king to d3 again, queen to b1 check, and again just queen to c3, but now just g6. Here after f caps on g6, queen to c1 check, king to d3, rook to b4, but now just rook to e8 check. And now you might seem like, here what is happening, because here if you play these move order, white is just queening. The white is queening, but here the position is completely lost for black. So I'm gonna ask you to pause the video and try and find out the best move in this position while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations to everyone who paused the video and actually tried it out, because it's a very easy position to analyze. Here just you move and allow white to get a queen into the game, because here rook to g8 check, king captures, g captures, and just move away, king to h7. Here if you under promote to a knight, you might be able to get a decent position, but you're still going to be lost, because hey, this is coming. But you would just await a little bit of the inevitable. But here after f8 queen, here just queen caps on c4, and it was on this move, on move 49, that Nordirbek Abdusattorov resigned the game, and Prague got this spectacular victory. And the only reason and unfortunately for why he resigned, and unfortunately for Nordirbek, this position is completely lost, because you move here, captures, and once you move there, you get this check, and wherever you go now, I mean, wherever you go not wherever you go, you have just one square, and your queen gets captured, and you just completely lose this game. So yeah, great game by Prague, and fabulous victory by Nodirbek. So thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with such games, so stay tuned for that, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you all.